So we're headed to the Atlanta Airport Marriott where we always come to park the car, and this is the first stop on the trip. We're headed to the Club Atlanta Lounge because we have 20 minutes before our flight leaves. Hi there, we're at the Club at Atlanta, and I meant to say we had 20 minutes till we have to be at the gate, not till we have to be at our flight, because then we would miss our flight. But we're just coming in here to spend some time. I didn't do an intro for this vlog because I hadn't planned ahead. I got up this morning, shot out of bed, had to go to the allergist to get my shots, and then come home and pack. Within 15 minutes I was ready to go. I packed my jeans that are still damp because I hang them dry. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the fastest I've ever gotten ready. But fortunately, Chris did a presentation for our society yesterday, and so I'd already sort of packed my book bag. I had to bring my computer to that and some other things, so I was kind of ready to go a little bit. And then I always keep my toiletries packed in the top of my suitcase. I'm not sure whether or not, I know I didn't refill my shampoo and conditioner from our last trip, but I can always use the ones in the hotel if I need to, so I think I'm okay. But that's where we are right now. I'll catch up in another clip as soon as we get settled in on the flight. It's pretty crowded here. It's not a full flight. We checked in on our phones yesterday, 24 hours prior, to try to get in the A group because we're flying Southwest. It's very helpful if we get in early because Chris is 6'7", so we prefer an exit row or the last row on the airplane. Has a little bit more room. But I got V2, so we got our fingers crossed. Well, we made it on. Did not get the exit rows. There was one seat available, but we don't like to split up.
It's very sad.
Very sad if you're 6 feet 7 inches tall. So we got the very last row on the left, which is our second choice most of the time. It's got more leg room, but it's also the shortest width-wise, so we always hope that it's not a full flight and that nobody sits in the middle, because then you're really tight side to side. But we got lucky, and hopefully nobody sits in between us. If we do get a third person, I always scoot over and sit next to him, but it'd be nice to be sitting like this the whole way. Headed to St. Louis. Yeah, so this is knees together, which won't work. So somehow you sit comfortably. Knees apart. And then if the person in front of him reclines, it touches his kneecap. He does that. 1 hour, 12 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may now use your large laptop computers. The fasten seatbelt sign is on. Please remain seated.
This is what happens to a bag of potato chips at 30,000 feet. So you can imagine what happens to your shampoo bottles and everything else that you've got in your luggage. I went ahead and filmed our landing for those of you that have never flown before, and I sped it up to super fast so it wouldn't be long and boring. And then I finally end with us taxiing into our little spot at the terminal.
Here, check the TV monitor, the terminal for your gate flight information. We'd like to thank you for choosing Southwest Airlines. Go out and have a great week ahead and come back and see us. Disarm doors for arrival. Cross-check.
We made it to St. Louis. We immediately went to baggage claim, got on a shuttle, went to the rental car place, and picked up an upgrade. This is a Dodge Grand Caravan. We're headed directly from the airport to the St. Louis National Archives at 1 Archive Drive.
Right.
We genealogists have our priorities. Okay, we found it. We're here at the National Archives, the St. Louis branch, which is the one that holds the military records. What is it from, Chris?
It's the Personnel Record Center for
Yeah, personnel records. So I'm hoping
1900 forward.
my grandfather, my paternal grandfather, and my paternal uncle both served, and my father's birthday happens to be this coming Thursday, and I knew we were coming to the St. Louis area, so I'm hoping to get his brother's and his dad's military records as a birthday gift. We just left the National Archives and we're driving an hour and 45 minutes to Columbia. I left my sunglasses at home, so I'm wearing Chris's driving cap because the sun is right in our eyes because we're going west. But I was able to find out that we already knew there was a fire at the National Archives. This is the branch of NARA, the National Archives and Records Administration, where they keep the personnel records for people that have served in the armed forces since 1900. And there was a fire there in 1973 that destroyed the majority of the records. So I wanted to go and see what I could pull, and I gave them my maiden name. They actually have my brother's records because he obviously served after 1972. They have something on my father, which turned out to be, according to their computer, I didn't actually get to see it, his last pay voucher and his DD-214, which is this discharge paper, which my father already has that paper, and I just talked to him on the phone. He said, oh yeah, that's in the safety deposit box. I've never seen it, so he said, next time you come over, we'll go pull it out of the box and you can take a look at it. So that was exciting. I did make a contact there though, and she is going to look for me. I'm going to email her the pertinent information on my uncle and my grandfather so that she can try to see what they have on a different computer, because initially their names did not come up. And I told her the story that I would really love to get my hands on these records for my father for his birthday, which is the day after Veterans Day. And that would be something. The story goes that my Uncle Louis was in the Marine Corps, and he served in the South Pacific in World War II, and he was in some kind of combat. He got a Silver Star, or maybe multiple Silver Stars, which is like the highest honor that you can receive for being in battle or something. I don't know much about it, but we were never to talk about this with him, the limited amount of time that I got to see him. And my father said that he would never talk about it and didn't bring it up, and people in the family knew not to bring it up. So it was obviously, I think it was way before they had like PTSD and something to manage that and be able to help him with it, but you just didn't talk about it, and that was understood. So I'd really like to get this record of his time in service to be able to share with my father, who's curious to know what did my brother go through. So that was the goal today. And uncle. And so he would be saying, what did my brother go through? So that was the goal today, and I've got this contact of someone who works there. She gave me her email, said send me the pertinent information, and I'll email you back in the morning what I know that we have or don't have on him. So that's what I know so far. I'll check in later. Bye.
And fittingly, it's a red, white, and blue sunset.
Okay, so we just checked into our room, and it's 6 o'clock here, and the sun's going down. So we're exhausted because not only do we have the change for falling back for the daylight savings time, but we've also had to contend with the fact that we're in Eastern time zone, and this is Central time zone. So back home it's 7 o'clock, and here it's 6 o'clock. So we still haven't adjusted to the daylight savings time change, and it's dark here. I'm exhausted. I feel like going to bed, but we need to go eat. So we're gonna go do that. I'll probably do a room tour of the hotel we're staying in tomorrow because I'll be too tired when we get back home, obviously. And then I guess I'll film when we've decided where we're gonna go eat.
Well, hello. We are at Hy-Vee tonight for dinner, and what we've got is a lovely meal of sauerkraut
Ew.
and sausage with green beans and mashed potatoes for Joanne.
Ew.
And for me, I've got 3 pieces of fried chicken. That looks yummy as can be.
So since you're lying, I'm gonna have to do some major editing.
And then also for me, I've got corn and more potatoes and gravy. And what was the total?
I don't know. You have the receipt.
Just like you. Charging it. They could have
Just
charged you
charged it.
$4,000.
I'm half asleep. I'm so tired.
I don't know. It's in here somewhere. but
$4,000.
I'm sure it was under $20.
Yeah.
And looks like a great deal. So
Looks good.
bon appetit.
So I'm having 2 pieces of the dark meat chicken, and he's having 1. Plus he's having all of this, and I'm gonna have some of that, and I'm sure I won't finish it. Oh my god, a sweet tea and a water.
We got all of that food for $10.66, y'all.
Hi. So we finished our dinner at Hy-Vee.
We're filming.
We're filming.
Hello.
Hello. So we finished our dinner at Hy-Vee, and we had a sweet tooth, so we drove 10 minutes away and got ice cream. What did you get?
I got
Double scoop.
vanilla bean and chocolate.
Let me see, close up. And I got chocolate on the bottom and what is it? Thin mint Oreo, or mint Oreo. Somebody's birthday's mint Oreo. That's what I got, and it's really good.
Gotta go.
Gotta go.
The next day was Tuesday, and I spent the entire day in the hotel, exhausted, and just played on my computer doing genealogy. Wednesday was Veterans Day. I finished knitting my 5th skull hat for veterans, which I will donate to the VA hospital. I found a wonderful yarn shop called Hill Creek Yarn in Columbia, and I've been looking at making a hat that's felted, and I found a few patterns and picked up some yarn as well as some other knitting projects. Had lunch solo at Chick-fil-A.
I can't open the door. My hat!
The next day, it was back to the archives to retrieve the records that I requested. We had to go through an orientation, and it was a very restricted environment. The two of us could not look at the records together. We had to look at them individually. We could not talk to each other when one of us was in possession of the records. We could photograph them, and that's what you see here. And it was a wealth of information for my uncle, but only a couple of pages for my grandfather. Nonetheless, I got a photo, and all of this was free access. So I was very happy with the treasure trove that I came home with. I was able to verify exactly where he had gone during his time in the service, and he did not receive silver stars, but bronze stars for time in service and for serving the states through a time of war, and definitely some medals and ribbons.
Hello. This is our corner suite. There's an adjoining room door right there, but we don't have any friends. This is a console table. It's pretty nice. Long hallway to the room. There's a full-length mirror right here and a coffee station over here. But the main thing in this part of the room is this floor-to-ceiling window with this glorious view of Kansas City. Union Station. All across the city. There's a link to the Sheraton Hotel and also to the Union Station. This was built in 1912 and then it was near demolition because it was so abandoned and in disrepair. And then I think the city got together and got the funds to rebuild it. Now it's an active station with restaurants, and there is an Amtrak station in the back. So then we go to the main part of the room, and king bed. It's beautiful color on the walls and the draperies. Desk, sitting area. We didn't watch TV at all. It's another adjoining room, so you could have 3 suites connected. That's the bathroom door and a coat closet. So if we pan back around, we are on the 12th floor. These doors only open about 6 inches, so there's no risk of anyone getting hurt. So there again is Union Station, and if we pan this way, we have a beautiful shot of the World War I national level memorial. We went and visited that yesterday.
The nighttime scenes were breathtaking, especially with the sunset. The lights. We went to the Weston Executive Club for some wine and hors d'oeuvres, and then went out into the night for some sightseeing, walked across the street, and there's an ice skating rink. The next day we thought we would continue our tour of the city by visiting the World War I National Monument and Museum, and we figured it would take a couple hours. We were wrong. We spent the entire day in this fascinating and high-tech museum, and we could have spent 2 days there. It was just wonderful. As genealogists, you don't want to miss this. Back in St. Louis is a neighborhood called The Hill, and we ate dinner at Cunetto's House of Pasta for their famous salad, house salad, and the greatest Italian food ever. And we were there because we were spending the night in order to catch our early flight home tomorrow. And even though it was late at night when we arrived, I remembered to film the hotel room tour before we actually stayed here. Most of the time, I forget until we're about to check out, and then the room looks like it's been lived in. So kudos to me for remembering, even though it was late and we were ready to hit the sack. Then tomorrow morning, we're headed off to return the rental car, head to the airport, and head back to Atlanta. You know you're in Atlanta when you see the Chick-fil-A cows and feel the warmth of that sunshine. Home sweet home. Thanks for watching.